Right, welcome back to my channel. This is Lee Whittaker Golf. If this is your first time here, remember to hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like and comment below. Today we're doing something a little bit different. This is my friend Ralph. Say hello, Ralph.
Oh yeah.
Ralph is at my golf club and Ralph plays off 10. I play off 12. So we're going to do a little series around his bag of can I make him better at golf and can we fit him better to be able to get his launch down, his spin down or whatever it is once we've checked the numbers. So on this session, we're going to look at Ralph's driver. Now the driver he's currently using is a Titleist 917 D3 with a Grafoloy Pro Custom shaft. We've looked this up and this is a 70 gram 6.0 shaft in stiff. It's set in his C1, so it's 0.75 less than its 9.5 stated, and he's got his sure fit weights in for fade because he's got a lovely hook, hasn't he? That's his bad shot. So what we're going to do, we're going to let Ralph hit some numbers with his driver, see what kind of numbers and averages he gets, and see if we can do some changes with the club or have a look at possibly a different shaft because I've got a different shaft in my Titleist, or even see if we can fit him into an Orca to get that launch down and see if we can get his driving better, more distance and better dispersion. Ready?
Sounds good.
Let's do it. Right then, Ralph. So you've Skytrack before?
This is the first time on Skytrack.
First time on Skytrack. So the way Skytrack works is pretty similar to all the other launch monitors. All the data is accurate, but club speed is a calculation of ball speed and spin. I've tested against TrackMan and Quad, and it's fairly accurate to within a couple of miles an hour. So what we're going to do, we're all lined up. I want you to just hit drives down the driving range. We'll see what sort of numbers you get, and then we'll see if we can make any adjustments. All right?
Down the driving range is optimistic, I think.
Just hit.
Pulley that one. Understatement of the century. You got a wider driving range.
Luckily it moves with the camera.
262 is a bit of a famous number, that one, isn't it?
The spin came down, but that's because you closed the face on it.
Yeah, that's because I pulled the tits off it, that's why. That was a million miss. Got a low heel. Still managed to pull it from low heel, it's quite impressive, isn't it?
So you've put it in all the fade settings because of that shot?
Yeah, essentially.
You know that has nothing to do with it. It's where you're delivering the club face.
Yeah, no, I know. It's
all them in the fade settings is just you in your head saying.
Oh, yeah, I'm well aware of that. Yeah. It's more of a comfort thing of like trying to make myself a bit less shit, but I'm well aware. Trust me.
Right, Ralph. So if we look at the numbers, then your ball speed average is fairly consistent at 143. You had one low in there, highest of 148, but your ball speed's quite consistent. Launch angle is more or less perfect at 14 degrees. That's where you want it to be. You know, there's some high wafters in there and a low one.
That spin's quite high though, isn't it?
But this is what's killing you distance-wise at 2.9 spin.
The fifth one.
If you can get that 14 and we can get this closer to 2, then this distance of, you know, an average carry of 227, with your longest being 238, for your sort of swing speed at 93 miles an hour, calculated, albeit, but as close to it, it's pretty poor, and it's because of the spin. So let's see if we can pull that spin down a bit. Right, so if we look at Ralph's sort of dispersion, everything seems to be going left. It's starting left and pulling left with draw spin, but apart from that one where his spin was low enough and his launch angle was low enough, but he's just lacking distance. You know, for that sort of ball speed, he's lacking distance, and I think on the majority of them, apart from that last one which was just a low thin pull, launch is killing him. So let's see if we can change that. Right then, so what we're going to do is, this is a 9-degree Orca, and we've got a 60 gram slightly lighter shaft. I just want to test this out to see how you're hitting that one compared to your Titleist. Or failing that, I've got another idea with my TS4 to use that. But we'll hit this first, see what sort of numbers we get, see if we can get that distance and spin down, and go from there. Right, so let's just give this a couple of hits, see how we get on with that.
Bit high, but still, it looks better flight, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly
It looks
a
slightly
bit
more
better.
forwards.
Yeah. Great launch, great speed, just spin.
Still high spin, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll give it a couple more. I've got another idea.
Pretty good strike. Shock it went left.
Started off there, line.
2-3-2 again. Like crossfield, just shit.
He's 262, you're 232.
Yeah.
A lot of this, just obviously it's going left,
Mhm.
And it's so you're hitting that centre and it's got draw. These ones are just starting left and going left. So
Yeah.
we brought your line in a bit more.
Well, generally speaking, that is my bad pattern shot anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not something I'm not used to seeing. Might be worth me trying to aim a bit further right. Just aim across it a bit more. A bit blocky maybe.
Yeah, I think you've got that to right. I mean, you double crossed yourself.
That's not a block, that is what you call a slice.
It's not as slice as you probably think. I think that's just a straight right.
I actually feel a lot better.
Well, look, you look at that. If you put a line there on it, it's pretty much just a block, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose
Straight
so.
out.
It's not started left, is it?
Just hit your normal shots. Even if it draws out to the left, we know what the tendency is. It's not like you've got to hit fairway because it's on a simulator.
It's weird aiming right then, the club speed on that one jumped up.
Right.
No necker.
So it's still spin, but the launch is better, and your direction's a little bit better. So let's going to change the shaft. So that was a tensai blue in, what does he say, 60 S flex. So we'll just try the 9 degree again. So the 9 degree is the lowest head they do, but this is a 70 gram X shaft. So this is an X flex, so it's slightly heavier.
Yeah, it feels like, yeah.
So we could bring the spin down with that. So much lower launch. You
Yeah.
can tell that straight away.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go, 3 yards. So, where'd you pay? Well, the spin's on at 2.5 on that, but that was just one shot, so that's it.
Yeah.
Two of those.
Horrible hit. It's heavy as anything, that. As you can tell, that going sideways.
Yeah, that was a big toe, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was, I almost missed that.
But one thing I've noticed with this shaft, and we'll check the numbers in a minute, is we've got you over 100 mile an hour swing speed, or club head speed,
Yeah.
on the shot prior. So you
Well, that's more.
But the problem now, well, I can't really judge that shot. That was a
Yeah,
shot
I nearly
now.
missed that. Wasn't a shit, wasn't that good. Launch a lot better.
Yeah, it's launching. What's the launch angle? What are we getting? 11. A little bit low.
No,
The
yeah.
spin's low. We've got your club head speed over 100. It's just getting that. You can get a little bit more launch with that spin.
Yeah.
And that swing, you'll be sort of looking at about, with your sort of ball speed, I think 245, 250 we can get to.
Yeah.
Let me try and let's put fairway on that. Let's give you a target to hit.
Give me a fairway to miss instead.
Right, let's give you a 40 yard fairway to try and hit.
40,
Try
that's
and put a
brave.
bit of pressure on you.
That's brave. Horrible strike. It's a safe shot, but it's crap, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just spinning.
Yeah.
Spin, kills your
I would say that generally is my go-to sort of shot if I'm under a bit of pressure. Not necessarily intentionally, the swing just kind of goes that way on me a bit.
What got you there is you've got 17 degree launch angles, far too much.
Yeah.
3,000 spins, far too much.
Yeah.
So all you're doing is getting that balloon effect
Yeah.
as opposed to distance.
Yeah, well generally my bad ones don't even balloon, they start high and sort of stay high.
Yeah.
They're just off the face, they're just up. Better strike, probably a bit left.
Balloon in it.
Yeah. miss. Thanks.
Right, Ralph. Spin is your killer at the minute. So spin was my killer when I went for my driver fit. And so what we're going to do is we're going to give you a go at this, which is the TS4. Weights at the forward. This is Titleist's lowest spinning driver. We've got a 6.0 60 gram low spin shaft in it.
That can't fix me, nothing.
So, but it is in neutral. So you're in C1, aren't you?
C1,
this is
yeah.
A1, so this is neutral. So we may get that left pull a bit more enhanced. We have no sure fit in this. This is 8.5 degrees, so what you're currently playing, give or take 0.25.
Yeah.
If you can't low spin this,
Get out my shop.
get out of my shop. Then it's, I mean, it's going to be technique anyway, but you know, this should give you a bit more option to be able to get that spinning down. It killed about 1,500 on my swing spin. So let's see if we can get you down with that. So this is the 6.0. I used the 6.5, and to be honest, didn't see a lot of difference in it for me. But let's see if we can get that spin down with the TS4 and the low spinning shaft.
Oh, great strike. Again, felt left that, but okay, maybe not. That was a flight though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That quality of strike. That's carried. That felt probably as bad as my bad ones before, but that's carried similar distance to one of the good ones.
Yeah. So you've hit that at the heel, haven't you?
That was low neck. That was as bad as you can hit that.
Yeah.
Really.
So you've hit that heel. Your launch angle 13 is fine. So for a low heely strike,
It should spin more in
spin
theory.
is 2.6.
Yeah. So that's.
You know, and just look at the difference in heights here. So this is, this red one's yours, which is all over the place. Then we've got it down a bit, then we went up a bit. So we've got our lowest height so far.
I would say that strike with my driver would have felt more that way.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So we'll hit a few more, see if we can get the spin down on that.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see that. That was horrific.
So was that a low toe?
High toe.
Really high toe?
High toe, yeah.
Yeah, so the only thing there is your spin, is your launch angle.
That's spun at 1.8.
Yeah, this is why I love this driver, it just kills spin. Absolutely,
Yeah.
this shaft driver combination kills spin. But the only downside to it is if you get it wrong, it goes really wrong. How's that one?
Strike felt pretty good. It felt a little bit left. It's weird, those ones, same as the first one, that felt left
Yeah,
off the face, but
so just leaving the face a little bit open.
that was just heel, that was strike.
But again, so you've hit it heel and we've got the spin down.
It takes me a few swings with a alignment stick down to get used to it, because in my head, I literally feel like that. So this is almost turned into a lesson. It's not supposed to be, is it?
Well, I can't teach, mate, because I'm 12 handicap.
Well, some pros you see teaching probably can't play as well, so. not digs at anybody in particular.
Right, that's your alignment. That's where you want to aim at. I've also put it in a bit so you don't hit it.
So that's centre line, yeah?
Yeah. So that's slightly left of centre line, because it's further. Centre line is here.
Yeah.
But that's where you want to aim.
That feels like a low pull. Heavy as anything, that. It's weird, the strike doesn't feel like that flight. That felt just like a low duck up to me.
Yeah. Do you know what I think half your problem is how around you go? Now this I'm not in any way a coach.
Yeah, that is.
But because you're going around like that a lot, if you've even remotely got this club face like that, and you come through like that, you're just producing a lot.
That is where the bad ones come from.
And because of that, you're kind of trying to rescue it with your hands.
Yeah, completely.
And that's why it's.
Yeah, I was debating going back for another lesson. So I find if I'm not playing as much, the problem I have is the timing of it. So getting to the top of my swing, and then I have to feel like basically the club has got a pitch behind me, and I've got to get this really, really strong wrist
Let's see
angle
where the ball is compared to your feet as well. Because if it's too far back, that's going to help you pull.
Again, that's another thing. Ball position for me can creep back quite comfortably.
You set up how you want to set up.
Yeah, this is something that's been pointed out to me by a few people. Ball position can creep back for me.
Right. So your ball position. Go that way a bit.
This way a bit.
Yeah. That's the ball there. Right. Now put your heel on that line.
This way.
Yeah. So your ball was a little bit too far forward initially. Right. When it's too far forward, you kind of reach for the ball, and because you're reaching for the ball, you're throwing yourself out there and trying to turn it back. Like an inch can make a massive difference with a driver. An inch can make a massive difference in real life as well.
That's what I've been told. Do you have your foot that sprayed out as well?
Yeah, and the reason I do that
Yeah.
this way, so much pressure on that leg. So if you even spray it out that wide, like as wide as you can, and then turn,
you can actually turn through the ball.
You can
better then.
turn through the ball better. So always have it sprayed out a little bit. Sounded better.
Better strike, I think.
Yeah, it's straight now.
Straight, yeah. Start that up the right, and that's okay.
There we go.
There's no speed in that. Like, it felt weird, but
yeah. So it's just ball speed, isn't it?
yeah. Well, essentially, it's just club head speed. You need to go up a bit. I would want to be swinging it a lot quicker than that.
Yeah, but your spin, that spin's perfect. Launch angle slightly down a bit.
Yeah.
It's difficult in here to get. This is why I say this bit, like going like that, doesn't bother me, because if you know that's your shot,
Yeah.
you can do that on the course. But you start aiming here and here, and people in their head subconsciously you think I can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, the ball starting down the
So
right is not.
as long as that's starting off on centre, then however you aim, you know you're going to hit it in the centre.
Yeah.
Where it ends up on this side, I won't worry too much about, because you can adjust for a draw. Same way as if you've got a fade, you'll always start on that line. So don't worry about how far left it kind of goes to a degree, unless you duck up the shit out of it.
Oh, I can do that. It's weird. Now I put that down, I instantly prefer to look at TS4. Strange that. That just felt so high off, like felt like it was.
Sounding a bit.
Yeah. Such a weak flight, that, isn't it?
Yeah. And this is where TS4 comes into its own, is to keep the ball flight down. I think you just caught that really high on the face.
That was just high toe, that. Yeah.
It's good.
It's consistent.
You know where you're missing.
It's consistently shite, but it's good.
Like, you literally know where you're missing.
Yeah.
Like, the right side of the course doesn't exist.
No, I'd say this is, even for me, this is quite extreme misses. But yeah, on the course, right, just kind of, if I hit one right, it's a bit like, Christ, where's that come from?
Yeah.
And they don't tend to be cuts, they'll tend to just sort of stay on the start line rather than, I guess that's making it come out of the air quite quickly.
When you go through the ball, so when you're like hitting the ball, where do you feel like you're hitting it? So are you trying to hit it straight, or do you always feel like you're pulling it?
No, I wouldn't say, like I say, it's weird because the way my swing's kind of done for my lesson, all of the downswing basically to me feels done there. After that, the rest of it is kind of just...
Just go to the top of your swing for a minute.
It's just a bit irrelevant, really. Not irrelevant, it's not really a feel thing from there. So I'll generally tend to get to about there. That's where the downswing starts, and after that, the rest of it is just kind of... That's an exaggerated feel.
So if you go to the top, so from there, you'll then cut this wrist.
Yeah. So at the top, I can even get a little bit that way.
What about if you try that on the way back up? So so there's not as much movement, because if you go like that, then you're going like that, you're thinking out. But if you, as soon as you get back, pull it.
Have tried it on the, like I've pissed around with it a few times. If I work with it for a little while, I can get it to work. But generally speaking, if I try and put that angle in to start with, I will literally low hook everything.
Oh yeah.
But that's more from not trying it enough, as in I've pissed around with it a bit because it is so timing based, that swing.
Yeah.
On the way back, I can put that angle in, but I do just feel like I'm gonna hit it low left basically. So the feeling I tend to have is keep like the logo of the glove more facing towards the target. Just felt like low left. It's annoying because it's better, isn't it?
That one was long, it was a low launch angle.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I can, especially with irons, I can take way too much loft off
Just
that way.
do one shot for me, and I want you to feel, because I just watched you when you hit the ball, and when you come through the ball, you sway that way, and then straighten up.
Right.
With the driver, try and feel like you're staying behind it, so you're straightening the leg, but you're like in this position as opposed to that position.
Try and stay behind the ball a bit more.
So try and stay behind the ball and flick at it. Once you flick at it,
went right, not used to seeing that. That just felt like there was so much loft there. I don't know if there was, that's just what it felt like.
yeah. Do it again. but stay behind the ball because you went forward with it. So keep your head looking, like obviously you've got to look at the ball, but feel like your head's looking here. Right. Keep your head looking here at impact. So when you're going through the ball, you're like proper looking, not the old keep your head down cliche, but
yeah,
keep it fine and flicking it on the way through. Swing like that.
That's high, isn't it?
Right, so now we've got the right from the left.
Yeah.
So somewhere in the middle of those two is your straight ball.
If I do what you ask me, it might actually work out.
Right, so you've gone to the massive extreme. So this time, try and stay behind, but do your normal swing. Don't flick it, but try and stay behind the ball.
Little high toe, that one. It's taking a left out straight away.
Yeah, but we're going to turn it into a right.
No.
I still want you to go at it though, because you're not really. I don't feel like you're going at it.
No, it doesn't feel like I can put much speed in doing that.
So as you're going through, so instead of coming up and swaying and driving, you just on the leg and just twisting instead of swaying.
Bit better direction.
Look at that, it's in the centre.
That's the first one today, I think.
Launch angle good, speeds up, spins up now. Right, another one like that.
That was optimistic, I think.
Yeah, but now let's try something different. Right. We're just in standard A1 setting now. Same swing.
Yeah, that's staying behind it for you. It's a weird one, because obviously I'm so extreme the other way.
Yeah, and if you need to, give it a lean. Like
This
that.
way?
No, that. Like, so set up to the ball with a slight lean, not
Yeah.
like...
Yeah, no, again, that's something
slight
I've
lean.
always found. When I worked with Andy, to be honest, that was something he said at setup, was to get a bit more of like a reverse sort of K shape.
Yeah, so
Like,
that makes you want to hit up, because you're staying behind the ball, just shove that club, is if you're driving through the ball like you've been doing, so you get to here, and because you're driving through, you're getting there, so what you're trying to do is to rescue it, and that's just killing speed. So actually when you impact it, you're coming down like this, but you're then impacting back but if you lean back a bit, get up to there and drive up, you're still hitting up, you're still keeping the wrist angle up, except you thin it like that. But,
no,
you know,
more speed there.
yeah, because instead of that is a speed killer, that is driving forward with the ball. So just stay behind it, slight lean, and feel like when you're impacting it, your wrist is staying bent.
Not a great strike, but
No, but we straightened you up. We
yeah.
straightened you up a slightly bit.
Yeah.
Okay, right, so we've straightened you up a bit. Now we want to get the spin down again and the launch down, so we put you back into the TS4 with my shaft, so effectively my setup. Now let's see what we can get. Just do your normal backswing, but then as you come through, just stay behind the ball and try and keep that lead wrist followed through. If you watch like Johnson, who's the extreme wrist angle, at delivery, he's still got that wrist angle all the way through. What you seem to be doing is impacting, and as soon as you do that, you've killed your speed.
Away, yeah.
All that speed you've generated on the downswing, you've just thrown it away.
It's weird seeing these little fake balls, not seen these for a while.
Well, there's your longest carry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your face was a little bit better because the spins come right down, so you're almost at square. Launch angle's a little bit too high, but spin's getting there again. Yeah. But that's your furthest carry so far. So we're getting there. And again.
That was right at the bottom.
Sounds good. But what we've done is we've straightened you up.
Yeah. But yeah, that fade shot is not a shot I see very often.
You know, there's a fade going as far as your pulls now, because you know we've got your speeds up. The spin is a little bit high on that one.
Yeah, it's weird that the speed's up because I feel still quite tense. That lean at the start does make me feel quite sort of tense.
Well, there's an impact factor of 145, so you're nearly at they say 1.5 is, so 100 mile an hour swing, 150 ball speed is like optimal if you can get 1.5. So you're at 1.45. Now it's just, I mean, I showed you before. I've got all that and all the speed, but I can get to 4,000 spin. At our level, you're not going to hit 2,000 every time.
No.
You're not that
well, it's a strike, isn't it?
But if you can get a club where you know you can get the spin down and your good shots are phenomenal, but when you go at it, don't lean into it. Don't like that. Give that foot a big spray out and try and proper turn, like so you're almost straightening that leg at the time of impact, and hit the nuts off it. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a bit better.
There we go. You know, so we're nearly there. So I say the club speed is calculated, so 102 could be 100, but 150 ball speed. The spins come down a little bit better strike, and the spin will come down again. But we're now up at that 250 carry, which is where we want to be.
I think the thing that clicked there was the feeling of like straightening the leg on the way through.
Yeah.
That keeps me behind it better.
Yeah, because you were when you were going through, you were proper. I was watching you sort of get to here around, and then you really your backswing leg is fine.
Yeah.
You know, because you've had backswing lessons up to the yin yang. But as you get to here, you're proper driving.
Yeah, it's
like this.
It's quite a lateral movement.
And it's people think if you drive into the ball, that's the worst thing, because as you get to here,
you've
that's
got to
when
throw
you
all
go,
that speed away. Yeah.
I need to get the loft up because suddenly the club's over there.
Yeah.
So to do it, you flick at it, and I was the worst for it. You look at one of my videos I put up, I was like that at impact.
Yeah.
Because I was all the way over here.
Yeah.
Whereas if you stay behind it and proper twist into it,
Yeah.
same with the irons, you'll probably find if you do that same technique but not the lean, because you don't want the lean with an iron,
No.
you'll get a better launch. But we'll obviously do irons another time. Yeah, it's just better strike. You can hear it.
Yeah.
You know, and that pull isn't as pronounced anymore.
No.
And you're carrying it 240 to 250.
That felt quite slow as well.
There we go. Spin, launch, perfect. Ball speed 150.
Yeah, that felt a bit more attentive, so that felt a bit slow, that one. I feel like there's more in there than that.
With driver, I've found the more you try and pussyfoot around the situation, the worse it goes.
Yeah.
Try and leather the crap out of it, because let's be honest, the whole purpose of a driver is to get it down as far as possible. It's just a better ball flight.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And now
It feels.
there we go. I mean, 2 degrees better launch on that, and it's doing another 5 yards.
Yeah.
So we're at the 250 we've aimed
Look at
for.
the speed as well.
Oh, sort of.
I know it's a guess thing, but it's still, considering that's 10 mile an hour quicker than what it has been before, if you want to take it as an average.
Yeah.
I know it's a guess of the ball speed and whatever, but
I honestly think at the stage you're at now, you need something like that set up to get that spin down, because what's killed you, let's have a quick look at these numbers. Right, so the last 4, which are these 17 to 19 here, your ball speed's now crept up to 150, 154, whereas before we were in 138 territory.
135.
Your spins come down. You know, if we take all this crap out and put that as an average, you're looking at 2.4.
Yeah.
Then we've got an average carry somewhere in 2.45 possibly from here.
Yeah.
With your club and ball speed is where you're going to be at 2.45 to 2.50. In the summer, that's just going to roll out because of this spin. Whereas if you're getting this spin, you're going nowhere. And because your descent angles come down from 52, 49, Jesus. We're now at 29s, 32s.
Half the descent angle.
You're going to roll, you know, and your peak heights come down. So into wind, you've look at that. we've dropped you 20 yards, which is 60 foot,
Yeah.
you know, in height. And at the same time, your ball speed's up now. Okay, in the interest of fairness, I think the TS4 with pretty much my setup works really good for Ralph. We've been here for 2 hours so far, but it's going well. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it back in his setup. I've changed it to A1 instead of C1 because it's what we've been using in the TS4, just to pretty much prove a point. Whereas, you know, because it's what a lot of people do when they fit is they'll fit you in that and then they'll go, right, go and buy it. Yeah. But I've changed your swing slightly and we've changed a few parameters. So if it works for this, you don't need to buy a new club.
Fingers crossed.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Let's see if it's working for this now.
Low on the face, right, that one.
The main thing is here, we've straightened you up from that pull. That pull has been non-existent for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Funny strike.
That would have been a massive pull last time.
Yeah.
But we've straightened you up so much by putting you on it. But, you know...
It's weird, since swing, I don't know if what the swing weights are not that clued up on. This doesn't feel like it swings as nice to me now I've used yours. It feels a lot lighter. I'm not striking this anywhere near as good. Horrible strike again.
We're finding fairways though, Ralph.
Yeah, yeah. Gotta take the positives.
Yeah, so we've hit 3 shots with that straight after the TS4.
Spin's not bad.
The spin's not bad, but we've dropped you 10 mile an hour.
Yeah.
In swing speed. Let's have a look at the other 3 while we're here. These are the TS4, and this is your last one. So 9 mile an hour ball speed, gone. 7,000 spin, more. Carry distance, we've dropped you 22 yards, and you've dropped an average of 6 mile an hour head speed.
Yeah.
You know,
it does feel that way. It doesn't feel. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel like I can swing this one as quick.
It literally speaks for itself.
Yeah.
You know, if you were coming now for fitting,
there's one option there. It's
TS4 with that shaft.
Yeah.
You know, we've tried Orca with the X-Diff shaft, was a bit too spinny, a little bit like why I didn't go into Orca. We've put that shaft, my shaft, into there, still a bit spinny, and then we've put you into TS4, which is the low spinning version with a low spinning shaft, lighter shaft. We believe a heavier head. It feels it to me and it feels it to you, and the numbers don't lie. And my miraculous coaching skills have straightened you up. I'm going to caveat this. I'm not a pro. I'm not in any way a coach, and I'm not coaching Ralph. I'm just telling him I've had a lot of lessons, so I'm telling him things that I've been told to see if it works for him. Whether he chooses to accept it or not, it's up to him. I'm not charging him for it. I don't even remotely believe in coaching, but I could see he was swaying a lot, so I just told him to try and straighten that leg and keep the wrist cupped and stay behind the ball, especially with the driver. And the numbers and the straightness, we've straightened it up. You know, it speaks for itself. So if someone gives you advice, it's up to you whether you listen to it and take it or not. But sometimes if you can do it in the launch monitor, they speak for themselves and it's point proven. Yeah. TS4,
interesting numbers, really.
TS4 is where you want to go. So we'll end that video here. We've gained Ralph some distance, some speed, we've straightened him up. And we'll chart the progress on whether he sticks to it, changes to TS4 in the next session of this. I'm going to call it the Ralph project. It's my little project, Ralph. Can a 12 handicapper make a 10 handicapper better? I may have more speed than Ralph, but clearly he can get around the course better than I can. That's why he's 10 out of 12. But can I make him better from what I've learned from YouTube, from coaches, and just general golf knowledge? It's been great speaking to you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and slate me on my coaching skills. And we'll speak to you soon.